Today's weather update is brought to you by you. Big thanks for everybody on Patreon who continues to support this channel. If you want to help out, the link is down below. Now let's get into today's update. Typhoon Koinu, also known as Jenny in the Philippines, remains a Category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, according to JTWC, as it nears landfall in southeastern Taiwan by Wednesday afternoon through the evening. But already, large waves being felt there along the coastal areas. We are starting to see some of the outer rain bands, and inflow continues to impact southwestern areas of the Philippines, well away from the center of circulation. Winds right now estimated to be about 155 kilometers per hour. You can see on the northwestern portion of the storm, though, some shear is continuing to interact with it. That is going to continue to cause this to gradually weaken as it pushes off there towards the north and west, with that landfall as you look ahead here by Wednesday evening, overnight into Thursday morning, passing over the tall mountains of southern Taiwan and then kicking off there towards the west, maintaining some sort of typhoon intensity before weakening to a severe tropical storm before coming on shore there in southeastern areas of China around Guangdong province. A closer look here shows you our storm made a little bit of a wobble here in the last 6 hours further towards the north, pulling away from the Philippines, albeit there are still signal force warnings in the Batanes Islands and northern areas of Luzon. This is at pushing right over Wednesday night into Thursday morning, southeastern Taiwan. Heavy rainfall in the forecast there. Places like Taitung going to see the heaviest of the impacts before this pushes off there towards the west. There's your signal force warnings in place at this time. From Pagasa, signal force 2. I mean, that really, for all intents and purposes, though, these islands, especially out here in Luzon Strait, have seen a lot worse than that. But, you know, we still have those warnings. Still going to be seeing some breezy conditions, northern areas of Cagayan, even parts of Isabela. It kind of surprised me that they put them under signal force 1. But you can still see some winds from this larger wind field from it. Meanwhile, these are the typhoon warnings in place for Taiwan. These areas in the red, so places like Tainan City, Pingtung, I can't even pronounce most of these guys, but I can tell you Nantao, southeastern areas of Taiwan under these typhoon warnings. And the big thing right here, I mean, if you're talking about Taitung County, is that heavy rainfall as this moisture slams into the mountains here, and that really is going to be adding up the precipitation as this kicks off there towards the west. So even though this has slightly weakened just a bit, still a Cat 2, probably going to be a Cat 1 at landfall, and we're still going to be looking at that heavy precipitation setting up with this as well. So let's get back to kind of the forecast here, looking ahead, and here's the hour by hour through our day on our Tuesday. Let's look ahead into Wednesday afternoon through the evening. This is about 2-3 o'clock. You start to see this come on shore in southeastern Taiwan by 4-5 there. Look at the moisture flow wrapping around that heavy rainfall along the eastern seaboard here. That's really going to be the biggest threat, albeit damaging winds still possible within that eye wall down towards the south. You notice towards the north, our model is actually picking up on a little bit of a front here. That is just indicating that cold surge is plunging in all the way from Russia, kind of interacting with dry air and shear on our storm, and that's really pulling this further towards the west. And you see this looking ahead by Thursday. This continues to track off there towards the west, coming on shore by early Friday morning around Guangdong province, approaching Hong Kong, whereby Friday, Saturday, going to be a wet day out here for our friends in Hong Kong. That's for sure. Still going to breeze conditions, but maybe not a full-on typhoon, but you could be looking at some tropical storm strength winds with this. There's a look at the actual moisture impact there towards the north as far as the rainfall. You see it piling up there in Taiwan, pushing off towards the west. And we still have a bit of that river of moisture down towards the south, albeit it is backing off. It's not as intense as it was a few days ago for parts of Manila and down towards Mindoro. But you're still going to be seeing a bit of that inflow continuing to stack up there. So a range of impacts from the severe impact stack there towards southeast Taiwan. Signal force warning still for northern Luzon, but once you get down to southern areas of Isabela, it really isn't going to be too much of an impact. We still got that inflow on the backside of it too, impacting the west coast of Luzon, but that is backing off too. Our attention is still continuing to look back towards the east, though, at another area trying to develop out there around Guam. I'm definitely keeping an eye on that. And in fact, let's just take a quick look at the SpaghettiOs, that long-range ensemble. I like to show this to you guys because I think it gives you a good idea of what I'm looking at. And let's pop this up with the GFS. There goes our first storm fading away south of Hong Kong. And then you can see the GFS by the 11th into the 12th. So we're looking still about 10 days out. Continues to try to pull for something. I mean, the GFS looked very similar like this 10 days ago with our current storm, Jenny, that is, or Koinu. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that the GFS is kind of picking up on something here, and definitely would want to keep a very close eye on that through the extended forecast. As always, though, going to continue to watch it. Hey, here's, by the way, just while I have this up, the Dvorak just analysis on Koinu, and how, you know, it did peak at that intensity about 48 hours ago, and that blue line indicating that intensity backing off. Now winds at about 80 to 90 knots. Still a typhoon, but a lot weaker than the potentially damaging storm we saw 48 hours ago, where it was nearing super typhoon. It had a pinhole eye and everything. That sheer and dry air from that cold surge towards the north really just taking its toll on this storm system. Big thanks for everybody on Patreon to continue to support this channel as well. Can't thank you guys enough. Just shout out to everybody here on the screen. Haven't been in front of the green screen the last few days. Just want to kick out these updates as quickly as possible for you. So let me know what you think about these sit-down ones. I think get a little bit more detailed sometimes, but I do like to get in front of the green screen. I feel like it's just a bit more professional. Anyways, that's all for today. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please, as always, let me know. And the number one thing, of course, is stay safe out there. Bye.